Men of Reddit. What are some mistakes women make during sex? Almost every handjob I have ever received feels like I'm having my penis yanked out of its socket. Going up too far when they're on top. Only to slam back down on your dick when it's out. Been there. Felt that pain. The main mistake girls make is not listening to my post-sex PowerPoint presentation review. I spend hours on them animations. Easy with the bouncy bounce during reverse cowgirl. Not doing anything. Not high-fiving back after sex. Lifting her hips up at the wrong moment. Causing my thrust to retarget the exit lane. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. No enthusiasm. Also too much enthusiasm and it hits the side wall hard. Owie. That really put me off sex for a while. The assumption that just because they're there we should be rock hard. We need some warming up as well sometimes. Don't expect him to know what you want him to do without any hints or help. No hints. Treating my dick like a trampoline when on top. It's easy to get carried away, I get it, but in the blink of an eye. Work in an ER. Don't pretend to enjoy it just for our benefit. If something isn't working for you, communicate. Sex should be enjoyable for everyone involved and you don't need to appease our ego if you're not enjoying it. Sexual chemistry doesn't always come right away. And the only way it can be built is if partners communicate what they like and don't like to each other. Leaning back too far when on top. Some dicks aren't that flexible when fully erect. If I'm starting to sit up when you lean back, it's because my air's about to break off. Mine just pops out. Not exactly during, but expecting guys to always initiate. Want your guy to feel desirable? Don't want your guy to worry that you're just sleeping with him every now and then to shut him up? Jump his bones. I'm so tired of this. It's not only the man's job to keep your sex life alive. If you can't remember the last time you suggested sex, believe me, your man does. And you're gradually eating away at his self-esteem. Edit. I realize this isn't a gender specific thing. As a guy I've only experienced the issue through that lens. If you can't remember the last time you seduced your wife, you need to put more effort into. Don't make fun of me for being vanilla while in front of friends and then come home and lay there like an embarrassed fish when I suggest something dirty. Post comment edit. I feel like I vilified my partner here. To clarify, she is incredibly sweet and very affectionate. We're both competitive and will often jab at each other in public. We've both crossed a line before and have talked about it. She had done this a few times before I finally told her it was hurtful to say that. Especially in front of others. You ever have a girl up on top come down wrong and bend your dick in half? Because I have. If there is a hell, I know what pain awaits. Holy ein, how did this blow up so much? I got a 3-day ban from Reddit right after posting this. So I didn't realize how big this was. Don't be afraid to tell us what you want. If you don't feel anything in a certain position or angle of insertion, let us know and switch it up. It has the added benefit of extending our stamina when switching positions. Positive reinforcement can go a long way. Don't try to discreetly insert your finger in my asshole. We know what you're up to. Greetings, sir. May I insert my finger in your asshole? Kind regards. I can tell when you are giving me a pity and it's a total turn off. If you don't want to do it, then say so. When you're giving a hand job, you're not milking a cow, don't death grip it. Don't death grip it. Especially because she will never match my own death grip. Is it me? Or had this subreddit become very horny these last few days? Winter break started. Faking pleasure. If something isn't working for you, let the guy know. If he thinks he's doing well, he won't change anything. If you let him know what you like and don't like, he will change. Most guys get a lot of satisfaction from your pleasure. Edit. Thank you for my first silver. I was wearing a condom and my ex thought it'd be funny to stretch the reservoir tip and let go, like a rubber band. Wasn't all that funny, emo. Yeah, so one time a girl asked me to come on her but I was wearing a condom. So I attempted to pull it off fast so I could oblige her. Well, I stretched it about 3 feet before it slipped out of my grip and snapped right on the head of my dick at the exact moment I came. You'll never want to feel your jizz get forced back into your pee-pee hole. Quit asking. When are you going to come? Full stop. Failure to provide feedback during intercourse. You don't have to scream like a PRN star. But let me know if what I am doing is working towards getting you off. It can be non-verbal also. Just move my hand if it isn't quite on the right spot. Squeeze me harder if you want me to go harder. Set the pace yourself. And for God's sake, if you are 30 seconds out, just whisper a tiny "I'm almost there" so that we don't come up 500 feet short of the runway. Also, if you are in a relationship where sex is going to be a regular thing, then use the post-coitus pillow talk to say what you liked or didn't. All sex should have a brief planning phase and an after-action review. Or at least that's what the army does when they're you. Ever been with a girl that just lays there? Yay, that. The correct speed of a hand job is not, and never has been, 4,000 revolutions per minute. Edit. Thanks for the awards. People. At last count, 15,000 people seem to know what I'm talking about. About 70 disagree and would apparently enjoy having their junk in an industrial paint shaker. And a smattering are taking the fact that I used revolutions as a metaphor far too literally. Asking for payment after the sex. I went out with a girl from the Tinder last week. After the date we were making out in my car and she ended giving me a blowjob. After, she asked me, "How much are you gonna give me?" Apostrophe. I was stunned. I stuttered that I didn't have any money and she replied, "Haha, you idiot. How much?" Rating 1 out of 10 for the BJ. We cracked up afterwards. Edit. I always struggle to come. So any girl that actually accomplishes it has a 10 in my book. She took it in the mouth and spat it out of the window. The constant yodeling. Ria collar AAAAAAAH. Putting their thumb in my butthole and saying, "Who's a cute little thumb warmer?" Yes you are. Yes you are. As a female virgin with autism, this thread is very educational. Teeth. My balls are not stress toys. Please don't squeeze them so hard. Edit. Thank you, kind strangers, for the silver. Please don't ever just stick a finger up a man's ass. Everyone's foreign policy is different. Then consider my port international waters. Tugging on my dick at near relativistic speeds does not equal a hand job. Had it happen once and it was very unpleasant. The penis is very sensitive, especially near the top, so just moving your hand a little is enough. Think of a blowjob like sex. Yes, sometimes it's fun to go hard and not stop until climax. But it's also fun going slow, playing and touching and rubbing, not just sucking non-stop. Emo. Edit. I see a lot of comments talking about how to give a proper BJ and I haven't seen one comment talking about ball fondling. Never forget. On the flip side of this, giving head for a long time is literally painful. It hurts your neck, jaw, sometimes your tongue. And you can't breathe well. Girls, listen. It's all about the downstroke. That's like penetration. Penetration equals good. Upstroke isn't the same. Upstroke is withdrawing. Upstroke equals not good. So please don't yank on it like a lawnmower. Yeah, I ain't gonna start nothing that way. Edit. I'm shocked nobody has explained a good hand job before this. Dear Santa, I've been a good boy. Close bracket. Edit 2. My first 1k likes. Going too quick. Slow down. Make it last and it's better for both of us. One girl I was with a while back. I didn't like how she goes down on me and tries to pay the skin of my dick with her front teeth. Hurts, but she seems to think I like it. Don't go around the backyard stealing my goddamn lemons. Leave the young lemon tree alone. Make sure to ask before getting excessively rough on the balls. I remember hooking up with this one girl and we were making out on my bed while she was giving me a hand job. Then her other hand goes for my balls and I'm thinking she's going to massage them. For some reason she grabs on them with a death grip that almost made me fall off the bed in pain. I guess someone she was with really liked that. But I definitely did not. Don't act embarrassed or shy away when you actually want to have sex. Makes one feel like a rapist. Could just be me. But my nipples are dead to me. Please be nice to my penis. Don't squeeze it like a stress ball. Acting self-conscious about their body. If we are there and clothes are coming off, whatever flaws you have are likely irrelevant to us. Edit. Change being to acting for clarification. I am a guy with a hairy ass. Me being critical of your cellulite would be hypocritical. Semicolon. Edit. Till that my hairy butt may be an asset rather than a liability. I have an ex that used to keep sleeping with the wrong dude. Jerking you off with some lube. Stopping for a moment, and the lube dries, and then jerking you off again. Feels like they're running a potato peeler against your dick. Not giving me tissues when I start crying. Don't like a tranquilized mattress. Participate. Don't like you are trying to start a fire between our crotches. Rhythmic fluid motions good. Jerking back and forth or up and down bad. Close bracket. Don't get the deer in the headlights look. Eye contact is nice. But with extreme concentration it is worrisome. Close bracket. Don't peel the foreskin back before insertion. It acts as a natural lubricant. It slides on its own. Let it do its job. Unless he's cut then it doesn't matter. Close bracket. Don't keep your hands to yourself. Men seek physical contact. Hands excel in such. Close bracket. Despite all that, don't be self-conscious. Just be in the moment and enjoy yourself. That is when it will be best. The only real bad experience I have had was when I went to slap her ass and I ended up slapping myself right in the nuts. OMG, it hurt for many hours. You can't actually suck the semen out like it's a straw. We really don't care how good your lungs are or even if you're so determined you will pass out from trying. We don't feel hardly anything from sucking, it's all of the things you do with your lips, mouth, tongue, and hands that make it feel good. Back in high school I was getting lucky with a very inexperienced girl who wanted to try giving a blowjob. So she put the tip of my dick in her mouth and sucked as hard as she could. She literally thought she was supposed to go at it like trying to siphon gas. In retrospect, I guess I'm lucky she didn't take name blowjob too literally. It could have been worse. Worrying about getting the guy off. Seriously. You ladies are a little more complex. Worry about getting it done and enjoying it for yourself. We will go with flow and get there too. Have no worries. Don't turn your mouth into a cavern when we kiss. It should be sensual or savage. Not an invitation to try to cram my face in your mouth. Being married and not eyeing your husband for more than 6 years. Also, when said husband tries to initiate, you get irrationally mad and claim that's all he thinks about. No, Sharon. What does a man dying of thirst in the desert think about? Having it. I know. Always asking what that tongue do. Bitch. It licks these fingers to turn the pages of the Bible on sinners like you. Had an ex that used to give hand jobs like she was shifting gears. Remember to go up and down. Not back and forth. A lot of the complaints on here are the dead fish, and this tends to ruin any relationship. But there's also typically a reason girls do this. A fear of intimacy. They believe the guy or even people in their life are not permanent, and so they abstain from feelings of intimacy or getting close to others as a strategy to avoid the painful feelings of them leaving. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is an unhealthy coping mechanism. Calling me daddy. Shudders. Unless you discuss these things beforehand. Keep the dirty talk to what's happening at the time, such as me harder. Spank my ass. Etc. Not trying. Holy. Just try. It's your body. You know? Make some effort to make yourself feel good. This is mostly in younger women. But I've slept with some 30+ year olds who just don't try to feel good during sex. The way my girlfriend says. Stop looking at the camera. Broke up with an ex partially because of chemistry issues. She said I was huge, I'm definitely not. And to go so slow as to basically not even have sex because it hurt. She likely just needed to have lead up before sex, oral, etc. But she refused to receive oral or use lube. Got with another girl who didn't move at all. It was the most uncomfortable sex of my life. She said it was great after it. But how would I know? So ladies, participate and talk to your partners. Every woman I've slept with has made the mistake of sleeping with me. Charging me money. Men, quite rightfully, are expected to be clean, scrubbed and smell good. Girls, you can also stink. Please shower if you've just come out of the gym. I'll still go down on you, but with 10-15% less enthusiasm. As if girls aren't expected to be clean. There's an entire market preying on women's insecurity regarding their vaginal scent. It's the first insult dudes fling when the relationship goes south. There's way more pressure on women to be clean and sweet smelling than men will ever have. Just because a dick is hard doesn't mean there is consent. Don't make the guy to initiate sexual intercourse every single time. Don't nibble my foreskin. Make me. Demanding that you hit them. Even when it's not your thing. I'm into biting, not enough to leave bruises, hixies. Hair pulling. Having nails in my back. Being told hit me what? Strangle me or slap me. I do both. No, like proper slap me hard in the face. Dot. You've ruined my flow. Now do you want me to put some clothes on and fight you or keep eyeing you? This is why kinks need to be discussed beforehand. Listing your yeses and nos so everyone knows what to expect. Keep your teeth off. This is more of a miscommunication thing. My wife thinks I'm in pain with the faces sounds I make and she stops. Really though. It's just feeling really good. I mostly think she's really getting into something until she tells me she's in pain. 11 years in and we're still working on that. Don't do anything Cosmo magazine tells you to do to your man. Do not even read any sex advice from Cosmo when it comes to pleasing your man. You don't want me to stick a finger in your belly button and spit on your kneecap? Say, are you almost done? Nothing, and I mean nothing, makes you go from hero to zero faster. Even if you have the best of intentions. Even if you're actually late for another engagement, these 4 words will end the SI time and commence the fighting. It's every bit as effective as him telling you your sister friend is hot without prompting. I'll see your ass, are you almost done, and raise you an SI sit-in yet? I mean, are you just pounding away for a half hour or bro? Then it probably hurts or she's bored and wants to stop but can power through it if you're close. Talk. Don't want me doing something? Tell me. Like what I'm doing? Tell me. Want me to do something else? Tell me. Have something dirty to say? Tell me. Imagine having sex. Just laying there. I'm all for being dominant and all that, but at least give me some sort of feedback that you're actually picking up what I'm putting down. Grab me. Scratch me. Moan. Dirty talk. Do something that gives me confidence I'm giving you what you want. And if it's not actually what you want, tell me straight up and I'll switch it up. Not saying stop. You have all the right to say stop. When you change your mind or when it hurts or when. Not saying stop cause you want to please a guy, are afraid of his reaction. Might seem like a good idea or the easiest idea to get his affection or to not get his anger. But not saying stop and crying afterwards is hurting yourself. Lowering your chances to get a better SL relationship. And for the honest caring men out there, Smack in their face. Cause there are loving, caring men out there that would understand a stop and feel like when they realize they weren't even given the opportunity to show their love and care by stopping when asked to. Not the answer OP might be looking for. Not the answer many expected. But mutual consent is one of the most important things for SZOL active PPL. My ex used to have this fetish where she'd dress up like herself and act like a ring bitch all the time. Either acting like a sack of potatoes or not taking the initiative. You gotta know what you want and be willing to do it. Or ask to try it. As a woman, I have to say it was so great to see so many comments obviously coming from a place of understanding consent, communication, reciprocation, and equal enjoyment in sex. I knew my guy wasn't the only one in the world to care about these. But it's nice to see so many men with healthy attitudes towards sex. And women. Thank you. Gentlemen. Even if this thread ends up going to hell in an incel basket after I write this comment. It was a hope restoring read. Faking an orgasm. Don't do that. Constantly telling me their age. I'm Germans. Assuming that I am going to consent because I am a man. I might not be into you. You might be too drunk. Or anything else. But please ask and ensure that I consent before you touch me. A SZOL assault survivor. Wait. You guys are having sex? The obvious and over-exaggerated fake moaning. Never 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 stick your thumb up his ass while giving head. Never 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 stick your thumb up his ass while giving head. Without asking first. Some guys are really into ass play and a finger up the ass while getting head is a dream come true. Yeah. Get permission first. But then have at it. Please. Speak for yourself. I hate when she gets a boner. It makes it really awkward. It's called a blowjob, not a I'm going to SCR pay your dick a lot with my teeth job. Blaming the guy if she doesn't come when she puts in zero effort to at least guide us or tell us what she's into, like we're just supposed to secretly know all of her bells and whistles right away. No cock and ball torture. Why do people enjoy cock and ball torture? The act of intentionally or accidentally bringing pain upon the male genitals is typically a thought that people wince at with great force. However, there is a reason why this is an enjoyable experience. One rooted in the most important of sciences. Physics. Take, for example, a bottle of Tabasco sauce. If one were to move the bottle up and down in a motion reminiscent to the one used during male self-stimulation, it typically results in a moderate amount of sauce exiting the bottle. If struck hard on the bottom, however, a large amount will spurt out. Should this be done with the named genitals? Turning them upside down and then striking the bottom of the scrotum with moderate to immense force. This will result in a large amount of seed to be ejected from the penis due to the energy being transferred from the palm of the hand to genitals. Therefore, because of physics and the transfer of energy from palm to the genitals, cock and ball torture is a scientifically pleasurable experience. I think some women have an honest misconception of what sex is. Having sex means that you're eyeing each other. Laying on your back and allowing a guy to you means that you've been ed. But he hasn't. Technically speaking, you're just a glorified masturbation aid at that point. Equals. You're not really having sex until you are eyeing him too. Jump on top and ride him. Give him a hand job or a blow job. etc etc. Go out of your way to give him an orgasm if humanly possible. Equals P. Consent and starfishing is not sex. When a woman yells, "Ah, pay me." As a man, growing up knowing how wrong "ah, pay" is, whenever a woman would say this, I instantly lost my mood. I can accept harder, harder, but the "ah, pay" thing is just way too much in my opinion. Plot twist. Don't give blowjobs with quick motions like in PRN. I need sensuality. Using it as a reward and withholding when they don't get why they want. My balls are sensitive. Please don't hurt them. If it shows that she really wants to be here doing what we're doing, she's doing it right. Not showing that is a big mistake. Putting pressure on me to come. I like to hear where you want me to come or that you like when I come. But are you going to come? It's okay if you don't come. I feel bad you're not coming, it just makes the process worse. Please don't claw at me or dig your nails into me if you have acrylic nails or really long fingernails. I don't mind being scratched. But not when you have long fingernails or claws like Wolverine. As a virgin, I love reading these comments. This is probably said 8 times elsewhere, but she stops moving or stops bobbing her head or stops moving her hand when he starts coming. You see that a lot in PRN. And every time I'm like, keep going you idiot. Ladies. Unless you're a savant. The best hand job is no hand job. If you must give a hand job, remember 2 things. 1. More lube. No. More lube. No really. More lube. 2. The goal is to simulate eyeing. Which means the downstroke starts near the tip. Then moves to the base. For some horrifying reason, over 90% of women think a handjob starts with a deep grip at the base. Then a sharp tug away from the body. Do not treat the penis like a lawnmower starter cord. This kills the penis. Skipping foreplay. It adds to the experience. When she thinks a handy means literally pulling your dick off. Stimulation of the tip is nice. But if you want to get a guy off, you have to work the shaft. In my experience. This depends on the guy. But this is why everyone just needs to talk more about what they like.